Peace world, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Substantial Weekly. My name, of course, is Substantial. Thank you. I do birthdays, bat mitzvahs, baby showers, Armageddon, one time only, all that good stuff. Happy Friday to everybody. Thank you for tuning into the channel. If it's your first time to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Go ahead, hit that like button, all the cool things that are appreciated here in the wonderful land of YouTube. But yeah, man, shout out to those of you in the chat. Shout out to those of you who are patiently waiting as well. I know we're a little bit behind schedule. Had to premiere another video here on the channel. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to check it out after the show. Basically a live performance of my song Salt and Pepper from the album Adultish. And it was with my band. We had a lot of fun flipping a version of it that basically was a flip of the music from the Nintendo Wii. So it was the Me theme. You know what I mean? So it ain't for everybody, it's for those that know. But yeah, man, we had a lot of fun doing that. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see who we got here hanging with us today. I know that we had a few early birds, pun intended. Shout out to my brother Early who was up in here. I saw him earlier on. Shout out to Last King Saints also in here early was Warpath. Warpath wasn't able to stick around though, but shout out to him. Yeah, man, we got Scrubber Manjaro up in here. Who else I miss? We got Scrub Philly in the building. That's what's up. Boom, 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 boom. And then we got Josh up in here. Shout out to Josh. Hey, what up, Steph? My sister from another mister up in here. Then we got Tommy Hackett in the building representing Seattle. Big Unit 64. Peace. What's going on? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, man, cool show in store for you today. Of course, we got various things we're going to cover, different topics and stuff based on, different updates I got for y'all, different shows coming up. Of course, reminders on music that's out right now. And today, because of you all, the people, I gotta say it like Bane, the people decided that today we would break down the song from Bob Alloy, me and Marcus D, called Count on Us. Super excited to do that. As a person who really enjoys writing songs, especially ones that are, very creative like that one. These sometimes are the most fun to break down. You know what I mean? A little bit lighter, but especially compared to last week. Last week we did a breakdown of the song Room to Heal. If you missed the live, you could check out the live in long form. The whole show is 2 hours. If you just want to check out the breakdown, though, of Anatomy of a Verse for Room to Heal, definitely go here on the channel and check that out. Yeah, man, the video is about 17 minutes, doing a deep dive in what inspired the song, some of the issues that I was dealing with and that I was thinking about when I wrote it. Definitely came out really dope, man. The video's doing well. Shout out to y'all. Folks seem really engaged. Happy y'all are happy and love it. But yeah, today we're going to do Count on Us, and that's going to be a lot of fun. If you stick around to the end after the breakdown, you can be a part of a poll that will take place where I take your recommendations on what song we break down next. And then based on what has the highest amount in the poll, that will determine what the next breakdown is. So it's up to you. Also, because there were past breakdowns of songs in other lives that I didn't break down in the short form, those are going to be added as well. They're going to be added to the channel in short form at some point over the next few weeks. So yeah, look out for that, man. That's going to be exciting too. Got a lot of content, man, that's going to be here like on the channel. So yeah, man, shout out to y'all for making all of that possible. I am adding one more file in the background. Yes, okay, everything is everything. High five for Jesus. Let the church say amen. Amen. Who else we got up in here? We had Sherm last week. Yeah, I think that was that last week or the week before? Might have been the week before when Sherm popped up. But yeah, man, that was super cool. Shout out to my brother from another mother, man, my brother Sherm. But yeah, hold on, let me see something. Just fixing something in the background that's acting up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Who else we got in the chat? Got a few folks. Got a lot of activity today. Always great to see. I still be thinking different, my dude. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Ultimate Plug Stan. What up, fam? Could have been weeks merging into another. Yeah, man. Listen, when you got kids, that's what happens. You know what I mean? The days just be blending into each other. You know? Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So first things first, if you have not joined our Discord, we are on the verge of celebrating our first big milestone. The first big milestone related to Discord was, of course, the launching of it. So thank y'all, man, for making it possible in terms of joining the community. And super, super special shout out and thank you to Arya, aka Happy Mochi, one of the members of our community here on YouTube. Yeah, man, she is responsible for launching it and putting it together and working with me behind the scenes to make it a thing. And I could not be more appreciative, man. Y'all are an amazing, amazing fan base, and she's an amazing woman. And I'm happy to have her a part of the community. Even happier that she was able to contribute in this type of way, especially because she didn't have to. So just super dope. She was able to do that for us all. You know what I mean? Because it seems like y'all are enjoying it, man, and that's big to me. I'm really, really happy to see that. So let's get this up on the screen so we can jump into that. Boom, boom. Okay. So first and foremost, we are at 92 members, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the verge of a really, really big milestone, and that's us hitting 100 members. So if you have not joined the community already, you can do so by going to this link here and becoming a member. So if you're already on Discord, the great thing is you don't have to sign up for Discord. You can literally just make sure you logged in and then join this server. Yeah, man, it's been really, really dope. I put a new question of the day up. I know for a while the question of the day was what's your current like theme song right now or whatever. New question of the day is advice for your former self. So you ain't gonna drop it in the chat here. Save that for the Discord. But yeah, man. And then also, man, the music section has been popping. General chat's been popping. But like in the general chat or here in the live, man, you can let me know what are some things you would like to see added to the Discord. Obviously, we're not going to add everything at once. We're building it up slowly but surely, but I would love to get feedback from y'all. What are some things y'all would like to see? I know that one of the members already was asking about a section dedicated to people who have YouTube channels. And so I thought that could be cool because one of the best things I've learned while building my own YouTube channel and studying like different ways to grow yours is it definitely helps to be part of a community of folks who are YouTubers, right? So y'all can cross collab and help each other build and maybe share some of the audience and all of that stuff. So definitely that's something I'm considering. And, you know, would love more feedback from y'all so we can keep growing it, man. Shout out to Kevin, not to be confused with Early Bird, but, you know, Substantial is approved by at least 1 out of 3 Kevins approve. You know what I mean? And I would we can go a step further. We could say at least 2 out of 3 over here because we got 2 here. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm appreciative of y'all, brothers. Yeah. So let's keep it pushing. Other reminders. Also, Substantial Academy, Substantial Art and Music Academy is coming up. November 7th is our last class for the year. Early, you're always welcome to join us, brother. In this class, we will be in our final class of the year at Crescendo. We are talking about grant writing opportunities for visual artists and musicians. Obviously, we've been focusing mostly on musicians this year. However, the information we're giving out in this final class applies to both visual artists and musicians. So if you're interested in applying for grants, aka free money, definitely show up. My wife is my business partner and also a former grants manager, so she'll be leading the class. And we'll also be talking about like teaching artists opportunities. So if you're a creative of some sorts and you would like to teach songwriting, beat making, DJing, MCing, graffiti art, Maybe you want to teach different forms of dance. I mean, maybe you want to teach people how to play instruments. Whatever it is you do that deals with creativity. If you'd like to know about opportunities that exist for you to work as a teaching artist, definitely you should be at this. Because again, we're not just talking about grant opportunities. We're also talking about opportunities. Excuse me. I keep feeling like I'm on the verge of sneezing, but it won't happen. We're also talking about, pardon me, we're super focused on talking about grants, as I mentioned, and teaching artists opportunities in this last class. So, okay, there we go. I think it's gone. Anyway, so for example, right, different types of teaching opportunities. For those of you who don't know, I work with Words, Beats, and Life. Through them, I teach music and business, art and music business classes with them. So I teach young people how to read contracts. I teach them how to monetize their YouTube channel. I teach them how to leverage different tools that exist out here for free. I teach them how to basically use those things to create a successful business model for themselves, as I've done for myself. So that's one of the different things I do with them. I also travel abroad with them, right? Doing cultural diplomacy work. I also have done that with an organization called Next Level. So we're basically, I learn something new. I find that is beneficial. When there's an opportunity to share it with the community, I do just that, because there's enough out here for all of us, contrary to popular belief. So yeah, man. So I hope y'all are able to come through November 7th. That sounds like something you're interested in, and you're not based in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, because this takes place in Northern Virginia. If you're not able to attend in person, but this sounds like something very interesting to you, don't worry. You can go to crescendostudiosva.com/Sam-Academy. All right. And more details are in the description of this video. You can go to the follow me section, click on that link, and then you'll see something for Sam Academy. All right. I hope to see you there, man. All we're doing is just trying to give great information to help other creatives make a living doing what they're great at and what they enjoy doing. You know what I mean? What they're passionate about. Let's see. Early says, I'll join if I'm not working. All right, bet. Fair enough. I should have put more water in there. Anyway, hey, shout out to Sal. Welcome, Sal. Thanks for joining us, man. Let's see what else we got on the docket. Okay, big one. So, in December, I am heading back to Japan to work with my brother Marcus D on the next Bop Alloy album. Super exciting. So while we're there, most of our time is going to be spent in the studio, but we'll be doing a couple events. So if any of you or other people in the community who may not be watching live, but are planning to watch the show later, when you hear this, great news for you if you're based in Japan or plan to be in Japan in early December. I'll be out there from December. I land December 2nd. I'll be there till the 11th. So during that period of time, not only will I be recording, but we'll be doing some live shows. Details on those shows will be coming very soon, very, very, very soon. So I'll be posting that probably within the next 2 weeks. The info on that. One of the events is going to be a super small private event. Not private. It's going to be open to the public, but it's first come, first serve. But we'll actually be shooting a live, not shooting live, but shooting a music video while we're in Japan, while I'm in Japan, for I can't remember if we're doing Room to Heal. I can't remember what song we're shooting the video for, or even if we decided the song. I just know we're doing a video shoot, and we're opening it up to the public. So first come, first serve. Those of you who would be interested in that and happen to be in Japan, you're welcome to attend. So details on that will be coming soon, as well as a show that we just confirmed as well, which I think is happening the day before I leave. It's going to be December 10th at Club Circus. Ticket links aren't available yet, but the benefit of watching this show is you get early information, so you can start planning ahead because it's going to be dope. But yeah, man, that show is going to be super dope, and there's more and more that's going to be happening. So pause on that for a second. Let's go back to these comments. Yo, hope to see you at a show during my trip as well. That's what's up. That's what's up. Dope. I'll be in Japan December 7th, December, but the 17th. Oh man, we just gonna miss each other. Yeah, yeah. I'm coming back. Yeah, I come back December 11th, so I can be back with the family for the holiday. Um, let's see. Oh, I'm not working. I'll put it on the calendar. All right, man. See you at Sam Academy, fam. David says, do you have any hip hop spots or whatever you suggest I could visit? Of course I do. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm a part of a little group called Bop Alloy. And we have a song where I literally tell you about one of our experiences or one of the places I love to go when I'm in Japan. It's a song called Another Night at Club Family. That's a real spot. It's a spot I've literally been going to since 2000. So anytime any of my friends tell me they're going to Japan, I tell them if you like you want a little hole in the wall, like bar and stuff that plays good music, and you just want to have a good time with nice people and stuff like that, I highly recommend you check that spot out. Again, it's called Club Family. It's actually owned by DJ Rio. Shout out to my brother DJ Rio. Yeah, man, we've been friends 24 years at this point, man. And so, yeah, man, really great times. It's a spot that New Jabez and I used to go to and stuff. Also used to hang a lot there with Naoto, my man DJ Dexstream, and so many others, man. And so, yeah, I can't recommend that spot enough. No food or anything like that. It's just, for those of you who drink, even if you don't drink, you just want to go to a place that usually plays really great music. That's the spot to go. And it's small, man. It's not, if you're a person that doesn't like huge clubs, you kind of like those like bar lounge type of places. But one with a dance floor and stuff, if you feel like moving, highly recommend going to that spot. All right. But yeah, man, definitely check that out. Sorry for the background noise. You know what I mean? It is louder than usual outside right now. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm trying to think of any other recommendations I have for out there. My question for you, David, would be: are you only going to be in Tokyo? Or are you planning to go to other cities as well? Because if you're planning to go to other cities and you're looking to do some touristy stuff, I can give you some recommendations based on that. Yeah, I don't know what's happening outside, but the sirens are blaring. It's real. Oh, you're going to Kyoto, man. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, yeah, this siren is super loud. So sorry in advance. But Kyoto, what was it? The Golden Palace or the Golden Temple? Highly recommend check that out. I cannot remember. Yeah, I feel like if they're I'm about to look out the window. I'm like, hey man, you coming here? I don't know who reported me. Listen. If you don't like what I do at the channel, if you don't like what I do here on the channel, you know what I'm saying? That's an email, sir. That's an email, ma'am. You calling the popo? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm joking. Anyway, sound's gone. Kyoto. Kyoto is a beautiful place. It's a great place to see a lot of get like a smaller city, but also get the experience of like some like old school Japan. You know what I mean? In terms of being able to go to different temples, which I mean, Japan in general, even when you're in places like in certain parts of Tokyo, you can kind of find like little areas to go on the outskirts that will give you that old Japan feel. So like in Tokyo, definitely check out Asakusa. And there's a long list of other places, but I'm not going to turn this into Substantial's Japan recommendations video, but those are just a few. But yeah, man, maybe Yokohama as well. Oh, dope. Yokohama's dope. I have not seen the graffiti wall in a minute. It's been years since I saw that, but I'm assuming that's still up. It runs under one of the train lines there. Really, really beautiful wall. Both sides, man, just like blocks and blocks of graffiti. If you hear something peeling in the background, get my snacks together. But yeah, man, definitely. Definitely. Hey, bro, they was coming for me, man. I don't know, son. I don't know. Look, the 1 to 2 dislikes you see on my video, I'm assuming it's one of them haters. Nah, I'm playing. But anyway, let's see. Joshua says, looking like Beanie Siegel, feel it in the air. Feel it in the air. Oh man. All right. Let's keep it pushing. So again, Japan date's coming up. Let me take that peace and welcome banner down. And quick reminder, you know what I mean? No pressure at all. No pressure. Always a little bit. Maybe no pressure. Maybe not say no pressure. A little bit of pressure. If you want to donate to the channel, you know what I mean? Help me continue to create the type of stuff I do. Upgrading, get new mic stands, things of that nature. The little things, you know what I mean? Great way to contribute is by donating to any of the links, scrolling across that ticker on the bottom. You can also, if you want to ask questions and send it in via Super Chat, or you just want to show love to the channel via the Super Chat, feel free to do that as well. It's greatly appreciated, man. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. So please consider doing that. Just a friendly reminder, today we are breaking down the song Count on Us by Bob Alloy. And when that breakdown is complete, if you have, if you have a recommendation for a song you'd like to see me break down that I haven't broken down already, because I do have videos that I haven't posted yet for, or short versions of them, because I did them live for Waiting for the Clouds. I'm probably going to wait for February to drop that one. And then I also have Reed Richards. Those are already in the queue, but those will be coming a bit later. But yeah, man, if you got recommendations for joints you'd like me to break down, stick around to the end of the video so you can make those recommendations, and I'll add it to a poll. Or you can go ahead and recommend it now, and I'll do that. But wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the presses. Hold on. Everyone stop what you're doing. We got to clap it up. I told you, Substantial is approved by 2 out of 3 Kevins in the world. And one of them just contributed. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You're a real one. Thank you for upgrades, but we really know it's to keep you off them poles. As simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to keep it PG, but we could make it PG-13. Yes, it's to keep me and mine off these poles. You know what I'm saying? You don't need me doing nothing crazy on these things. Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to see that. We keep me and mine, keeping these babies off these poles, one donation at a time. You know what I mean? All right. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Donations to do Cool It Now as well today. Hey, man. Thank you. Man, listen, if I do 2 breakdowns in one show, we will be, hey, man, last week was 2 hours. So what are we talking about? 3-4 hour video. Y'all gonna send me like 20 recommendations, like break this one down and this one. 24 hours later, still going. Hat just falling off my head, headphones just falling apart. It's terrible. No one wants to see that. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. Clap it up for Josh. All right. Let's see. All right. Hey, Happy Mochi, what's going on, sis? Was just singing your praises earlier on in the video. Thank you for all you do. All right. Again, man, if y'all haven't joined the Discord yet, I think I dropped the link earlier, but just in case I forgot, hold up. Let's drop that in here. Join the Discord server if you haven't already. Yeah, man. Super dope community we have, and it's growing day by day. Let me get something up here so we are good to go. I think I got it. Hold up. Had to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. It's called, oh yeah, that's right. That's what it's called. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Got it. All right, cool. So let's keep it pushing because we got a few more things to cover, and then we're going to do this breakdown. Yeah, another recommendation. Hey, man, if you're sleeping and you have, hold on, Steph put on them poles with a big Adam's apple and some hairy armpits. Hey, you know what? Thank you, Steph. Thank you. Just had to take it a step further. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? You know what the reference is from. Steph over here cooking me. It's all right. It's all right. Just, you know what I mean? Just over here crying. You know what I'm saying? Where's the love? The disrespect. I can't. Shut up, David. Don't encourage her. All right, here we go. Let's keep it pushing. What was I saying? Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Here I was trying to spread love, peace, and positivity, and then Steph over here cooking me. So yeah, man, To Make an Island of a Street Corner is out right now. Shout out to Ana Kaona, Rocio Milagro. Hey man, listen, there's a little part of me that's very proud every time I make it through a name without like stuttering. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of syllables. Shout out to Ana Kaona, Rocio Milagro, and this amazing project that I was blessed to be a part of. Man, this is we started back work on this, a couple years ago. Or started working on this a couple years ago. But the reason why I said started back working on this, because 20 years ago when I first met her, we talked about doing some work together and me producing stuff for her. And I was already making beats for her back then. And, she experienced a lot, man. She got married, she had a kid, and then she had another kid, and she went back to school. She did all of these amazing things and stuff. Yeah, man. And then she circled back to working on this piece. We had reconnected, and then and she was working on her book and all of these different things. And she decided that she wanted to finish what we started, long time ago. And so, man, super, super blessing to be able to work on this with her. When we started recording this stuff, initially she was going to certain people's studios or whatever, I think to record like one or two of the pieces. And then she suffered a stroke and was dealing with other health issues. So I literally took my equipment, like a portable setup, to New York and set up, in a room in her daughter's bedroom, set up and recorded every piece that was on this project. And then later she went and re-recorded a few when she was a bit better with Tone Deaf, who mixed and mastered it. But check out the album, man. I can't stress it enough. Link for this album is in the description of this video. If you have not listened to this project yet, To Make an Island of a Street Corner, I highly recommend it. Man, the love, yo. Like people have been comparing it. Like, they were saying things like, yo, this is her, like, Illmatic. I produced most of it, so people was like, yo, like, and to be clear too, she's not an MC, she's a spoken word artist. But I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard a spoken word album, but I can assure you most do not sound like this. And if you've listened to a few, you know exactly what I'm saying. But we felt like that when we made it, but when we dropped it, and people's response to it, what people have been telling us, have been really amazing. And what was dope, man, shout out another person who's super dope, Rob Brown, who has a dope album out right now that I produced a track on too. Both of the albums are fighting to be nominated this year at the Grammys. And yeah, man, I find out on November 8th if either one of these albums made it. That would be amazing, because your boy would officially be a Grammy nominated producer if that happens. It'd be dope if both of them get it. But I saw Rob Brown this morning. Shout out to Words Beats and Life. I saw Rob Brown this morning, and Rob, who's hands down one of the dopest poets you'll ever hear. She said to me, we were talking about this project. Of course, we're talking about her project too, who's dope. And I was telling her, I was like, yo, I feel really good for both of them, just in terms of what they put out in the world. And my homegirl said, Rob was like, yo, she's like, I feel like whoever wins this year is going to be a woman, because some of the best spoken word albums that came out this year were by women. And I was lucky enough to have production or produce two of them, you know what I mean? And dude, like, I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it. And Roz said something really beautiful, man. She was like, yo, I told my man, she was like, yo, I feel like I got a really good chance and stuff of winning. But she was like, but if I don't, and this other project is in the final 5, she was like, yo, you need to vote for that. She's like, go listen to it and hear what I'm saying. And she was just, it was super dope to see that, see her showing that type of love. 'Cause I feel the same way about hers. Of course, I'm biased because I had something on it, but Ra is one of the best, yo. She's one of the best, man. Straight up. So shout out to her. Shout out to Ana Kaona. Love them both immensely. You know what I mean? They're both great people. Oh man, y'all showing off today. Okay, y'all. Okay. I'm not saying to stop showing this kind of love, because I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It just reaffirms that y'all do not want to see me on these poles. You want to see me behind these mics, right? So thank you. But yo, King Be Cruel, man, thank you so much. Clap it up for King Be Cruel. Yo, sub. The track A Celebration has been a staple for my of my holiday tracks over the past years. As a father of a 1-year-old daughter, the track has changed my life and is now a foundation of my fam. Wow, man. Thank you for what you family. I'm over here fighting tears, man. Yo, thank you so wow. Yo. Thank you, man. Thank you. Now that means a lot. Means a lot. Like that track is really, really it's a really important track to me. You know what I mean? Like my goal when I made it was to me and my boy, like we celebrate Kwanzaa, and we know that we know what it's meant to our life, and we know what it means to our community, that the parts of our community that celebrate it. We just understand what it means in general to celebrate each other and come together during the holidays, right? No matter what you celebrate, that coming together part, something that we all do, whether our cultures are a bit different or not. And my boy was just talking about, man, like, for those of us who do celebrate Kwanzaa and those of us who have children who grew up celebrating it, like we see the difference, right? Like that it's made in terms of like our kids' cultural sensitivity and the pride that they have in themselves and all of these other things, man. And so, we just, man. We had a conversation about how important that was. And then my boy was like, he's like, we were just talking about like what we could do to kind of spread the word and let people know about like how important these 7 days are to us, and how like celebrating our culture and community, how important it is to us. And my boy was like, Kwanzaa needs music. Every great holiday has music and art or whatever that has themes of that in it. And Kwanzaa needs music. So if you up to it, you know what I mean? I think he challenged me to do that. And A Celebration was the result of that. You know what I mean? So, thank you again, fam. It means a lot. Hey, man, Joshua, thank you, bro. Y'all doing a lot today. Y'all doing a lot. Y'all must got a good feeling about this breakdown that's coming. He said remix If I Was Your oh yo. Hey yo. If I Was Your Pole, that would slap. That is the amount of pause necessary for that statement, sir. Just, it's not even, I'm about to say way too much. I'm gonna stop myself, but stop it. Stop it. But yeah, man, thank you for the contribution. Album is amazing. Thank you, man. I'm glad y'all enjoyed. Those of you who've heard it already, glad you enjoyed To Make an Island of a Street Corner. Has such a way with words. She really does, man. Green Face Kid, all good. Welcome. All right. 24 minutes of fire, man. Thank you. Start your path to get an EGOT. Working on it. You know what I mean? Working on it. The super chat is popping off today. Makes even more sense to stay off the post now and break down, cool it now. True, super facts. Steph, this is your fault. I don't know how, but somehow you're catching all the blame for this. Can I? Hey, come on, can I add both? Hey, listen. I'm about to look. There's no way to save whatever comes next without Paul. Like, we just going down this path. Hey, man, you gotta commit. So for those who don't know, the reason why Joshua, is referencing balls, the statement can't go well at this point. So you might as well just commit. The reason why he's referencing balls, for those who don't know, there's an old project of mine called Sacrificial Lambs. And there's an intro for the album where I'm talking over some jazz before the joint gets ready to start. And, and it's very serious. And then I basically say something along the lines where it was probably expecting me to say something funny or whatever. And then I just be like, balls. I hope you're happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, it's just hilarious, man. I was a bit of a clown. Anyway, that remix going viral in the worst way. 100%. 100%. Like, yo, whatever happened to Substantial? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, he did this remix of one of his songs, If I Was Your Pole, Balls remix, you know what I mean? And that was the end of that. Probably should go take the survey. Take the survey first. Yeah, 100%. That would be the safe bet. Y'all gotta grow up. That's a winter break reference. Word, the celebration joint. I don't know how we got here. Yeah, man. Listen. I was on my best behavior. Yeah, but you know, you guys. You know what I mean? It's y'all. On that note, I'm changing the slide. We're gonna keep it pushing. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The real reason why we're here. We're going to do a breakdown today of my song, Count on Us. Definitely one of my favorite joints that I wrote for a Bop Alloy joint. I still remember when Marcus Z sent the beat to that. Oh my God. I'm starving, so I got to eat something today. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, when he sent me the beat for it, I remember where I was. I just left New York. I got a text from him saying that he sent me some new beats. He told me to check out this new beat. And it was the track for Count on Us. And I remember my wife was driving. I load the beat up. As soon as the joint drops, I'm like, oh my God. The drums, the bass line. But then like, yo, when the strings and other parts come in or whatever, like the piano he adds later on. I can't remember, is there a flute? Well, we're about to hear it in a second, but just like all the things, man, in this beat and just and how he did it. I knew the moment I heard it, I was like, yo, I could probably make something that's way more palatable and catchy and all of that. But yo, I'm gonna just go in. We're just gonna make this just a long verse. But rather than being like, yo, I'm the greatest rapper ever, you know what I'm saying? Doing one of those verses. I was like, hey, man, how can I do something interesting and push boundaries and all of that? And so there's been songs over the years where like rappers will do different things, where they're playing around with like numbers and stuff, right? Doing some counting and stuff like that. You know, different dope like concept tracks. And so I was like, man, it'd be dope if it was a concept track. And then I started thinking around like numbers, and I started with a few as I was jotting it down, and then I was like, oh man, I like where this is going. Let's see if we can push it further. So anyway, let me stop there. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's get it set up so we can go ahead and do anatomy of a verse. Let me set the background and all of that to help with editing later. Un momento, por favor. Let's see. All right. Background ready. Let's do this. All right, cool. We're going to remove that one. And we're going to put that there. No surprise, I'm the... Boom. All right. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. I just realized I got to switch something. Hold up. Boom. All right. Okay. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, it's Bop Alloy time. A Day in the Life is eternal classic. Count on Us, Step into the Cypher are my all-time favorites from the album. Yo, thank you. Okay. I think. Let's switch it for a second. Let's put that up there. And then we're going to get this up there. Boom. Got it. All right. Got to get this graphic ready. Hey, what's going on, family? Peace. Welcome, man. Welcome. All right. So just to let y'all know, I'm getting ready to start. I remember one of the guys, you high five in that high five for Jesus. What's up? Yeah. All right. So at this point, we're getting ready to start anatomy of a verse. I just was making sure everything is lined up. I think I got it. Let me get the graphic ready, little animated joint. Also, oh, let me bring this back up for one moment. I just want to make sure I can hear it.
No surprise, I'm the
And
one they
I
sleep
cannot,
on. I
so
roll
yeah,
with
that would
dreamers,
have been a
but not.
problem. I know y'all can hear it, but I can't, so I gotta fix it. Oh, I know what it was. All right, go gadget. Boom, 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 boom. Output. External headphones is where it should come out. Let's try it one more time for me.
No surprise.
No. That is strange. Okay. Hold up. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all are able to hear it, but in order for me to be able to... Oh, hold up. Try that one sec.
No surprise, I'm the one they.
Yeah, that's strange, man. Sorry, y'all. I appreciate your patience. I'm just trying to resolve this issue. Let me output. I figured it out. All right, I figured it out. Now I think I know why. So I'm gonna run the sound one more time just to make sure I'm not crazy. Okay, I think I got it. Hit play.
Sleep on. I roll with dreamers, but when us two come through, we make them believe.
No, it is tripping. Let's see something. Play sound effect. Google sound on headphone. I'm sorry, y'all. One last thing. Hit play.
Leave us fiending through.
Yo, this is wild. So do me a favor in the chat. If you're hearing sound when I hit play, it says, oh no, I think there's no surprise. Oh, you're terrible. I remember. Oh yeah. Okay, I read that. Troubleshooting. Let me. I'm about to check one more thing to make sure I'm not crazy. So y'all can hear it, but for whatever reason, I cannot. And I gotta resolve that real quick. Because I know the video has audio, because I confirmed that ahead of times, but I switched over. Think. Where? All right. So this is what we're going to do real quick. Let me see. Yeah, this is strange that it's not doing that. But, oh, all right. Let me check this way. Got it. So volume's up. All right. Let's run sound one more time and see. Got it. All right. I hear it. Okay. So we're going to do something a little different. Got it. All right. Pardon the delay. We are good. Let's get ready to start it. Now graphic back up. Go team, go. All right, cool. All right. Peace world. This is Substantial. And if you don't know, it's about that time for
Anatomy of a Verse.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the channel. What we're about to do is break down a classic song from me and the homie Marcus D. This song is called Count on Us. Count on Us was released back in 2014. And if I'm not mistaken, it was actually the first single from our second album, Another Day in the Life of, by myself and Marcus D, man. Classic record. We actually crowdfunded this record. When I say classic, I ain't saying to the whole hip hop community. I think that a community of people who support us, who know what we do, it's a classic to those folks. It was my favorite album of the Bop Alloy stuff we worked on and stuff. It was my favorite, hands down, to work on. I know folks are like, well, they technically had 2 joints, but nah, we had the EPs. We also had the remix project. So we've had more than a few joints. But this particular one, I think our intention when we were working on it was just so different. So it was a lot of fun to make. But this particular track is arguably one of the more creative tracks that I've done over the years. And so talking about it lyrically and in the decisions I made when writing it should be a lot of fun. I hope y'all enjoy it. So on that note, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, shout out to my brother Marcus D, who produced this track, as did he produce the last one we broke down, Room to Heal. And if you missed that breakdown, be sure to watch it. Let's get into it.
No surprise, I'm the one they sleep on. I roll with dreamers, but when us 2 come through, we make them believers. Fiending through your receivers. When it's all 3 of us, for the love of music, high five for Jesus.
Man, so out the gate, if you hadn't noticed, right, the song's called Count on Us. So those opening bars, I'm literally, like, you hear me count through, like, 1 to 5, right, in a creative way. Hence the name Count on Us. So basically, breaking down those opening bars, when I say no surprise, we're the ones they sleep on. No surprise, I'm the one they sleep on. I roll with dreamers. So this idea that, like, as an independent artist, you always feel like the masses are sleeping on you. But it's not just the masses that sleep on you. Sometimes your peers as well, right? The amount of, like, notable artists who are a lot bigger than me, or producers who are a lot bigger than Marcus and stuff, who behind the scenes are very aware of what we do and sing our praises in a lot of instances. But for whatever reason, like, they don't sleep on our ability, but sometimes in terms of, like, how far we can go or how this, that, and the third or whatever, there's always a bit of that. It seems like for indie artists, just seems to be the experience. So just making the play on this whole, the ones they sleep on, I roll with dreamers. So we all have dreams, but people forget, in order to have a dream, like a literal dream, you must be asleep. So just the dynamic of that is all, like, the dichotomy around that, like, playing around with those words and what that is as a concept is always interesting to me. And then it goes like, so right there, we already eliminated 1, and then we go to 2. When us 2 come through, we make them believers. Us 2 is me and Marcus D. Fiending through your receivers, but when it's all 3 of us, that's a nod to Steph. Right, Stephanie Gale also does backing vocals on this particular track, and she's kind of like the unofficial 3rd member of Bop Alloy and has always been, And then it's all 3 of us for the love of music, right? So not using the actual number 4, but the word for the love of music. High five for Jesus. You know what I mean? If you've hung with me outside of listening to me make music, then you've heard the whole, you've probably heard me say in daily conversation, or if you see me live at a show, you might have heard me say high five for Jesus at some point. It's kind of a thing I've been saying forever. All right, let's keep the lyrics going.
In a Motel 6, wake up call accepted. Breakfast we ate later, had these players in heaven.
All right, so yeah. Keeping the counting going. Now, it's important to point out before we go all the way into the end, there have been other people to do this, right? Like, I think I've heard rappers go up as high as, like, I think it was Biggie that went up to like 11 or maybe 12. And I've heard other rappers start like at 1 and go like maybe like the 4, go up to like 10 or something like that, right? But I knew out the gate, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going until the verse is done and decide what that's gonna be. And so, full disclosure, there was no reason in particular where I was like, yo, 40 is gonna be the number. That's just what it ended up being. But it was not a conscious decision to cut off at 40 in particular, right? But yeah, so in a Motel 6, wake up call at 7. Right? Marcus and I have like stayed at God knows how many different types of hotels, motels, or whatever in our years traveling together and doing this. But yeah, Motel 6 has sometimes been one of the options, right? Wake up call at 7. Usually or whatever, we're doing early wake up calls because we got to get up, travel to the next town or head home or whatever. Breakfast, we ate later. So that wordplay. Again, this is instead of me using the actual number, saying the word 8 in its place or whatever to still serve the purpose of the concept. So breakfast, we ate later, had these plaguers in heaven. Let's keep it going.
By 9:10, I'm in the cab to the airport. Portland's at 11, I'm not stressing, so therefore it's
Yeah, man. One of the things I knew while writing this, I knew I wanted to find more creative ways to drop the numbers, right? You've heard rappers do it, like just general counting, and then you've heard rappers do it when referring to guns or certain life situations. So I'm like, let me take all the different ways all the different places numbers can be found when it's the actual number and then words that are different than the number, but also sound exactly like that particular word for the number. So anyway, by 9:10, I'm in a cab to the airport. Borton's at 11. I'm not stressing, so therefore, now we went through 9 through 11. But real quick, I wanted to point out like the video for this particular track and just shout out, man. Marcus D for one saying, hey man, it'd be cool if we actually made a video for Count on Us. And I originally thought like, yeah, that would be cool, but like, how would it work? Because the song at that point had been out, again, 2014. So it's like right now the song is 10 years old. At the time, this was like maybe 6 years ago. So the song had been out for like 4 years by the time we made this video and released the video. But man, when he told me he had this director that he thought could do a great job, shout out to Robert Lewis who directed the video. I was like, hey man, I'm open to it. He sent me like some of his stuff, was able to check out some of his work. Dude was nice. And then, luckily we had like a ton of footage from touring together and stuff with us in the same places. And then, from different like directors or different video folk that we knew. And yeah, man, we just gave him a lot of stuff to work with. And then we did this shoot in Tokyo. So this video was filmed in Tokyo, Japan, for those who didn't know. All right, let's keep it going.
time to finish up this rhyme I'm 12 bars into. Hold up. 13 now, yeah, this shit's cool. Came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo. 15 minutes strong, though the songs were hella simple. Finished at 16.
Yeah, so man, that whole run there, man, it's time to finish up this rhyme I'm 12 bars into. Hold up, 13 now, yeah, this is cool. Like trying to really put people in the moment. And I think one thing that like part of this concept that people don't really catch is the fact that the album is called Another Day in the Life of. So this song being the first song from that album was very intentional for the reason that this song literally is an example of what it was like a day in the life of Bop Alloy, right? Like us making music together, us touring together, us spending time together and stuff, and anything that could happen, right? And so when it's like it's time to finish up this rhyme I'm 12 bars into, hold up, stop to write it 13 now, yeah, this is cool, and making sure I put the emphasis on it and say it the way I would like if I was really thinking as I was doing it. 13 now, yeah, this ish cool. Came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo. I was around 14 years old when I started writing seriously and started working on demos and stuff like that. So 14 came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo. So the funny thing, right, when talking about lo-fi in particular and how now people literally use filters to make the stuff that would normally sound polished because they're doing it on computers. They're trying to make it sound like it's using equipment that produces low fidelity sounds. So they're trying to make it sound like it's coming from a cassette deck, or sound like it's coming from a beat up old record, right? Things that some of the people who are producing this stuff don't even own, but they're using filters to give it that type of feel. And yeah, man, I'm blessed that I'm still in this business and able to do my thing. And the fact that I was in it when that was literally what we were actually working with. And when it was frowned on, right? Like, so that's why I point that out. Came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo. I used to submit that to companies and try to get opportunities with the demos I made. And because I wasn't producing them in a professional studio, I was getting turned away a lot for the very thing that people, that aesthetic that people love now, used to get a lot of doors closed in your face back in the day. And so, quick sidebar, right? I remember on, I think it was on Facebook or somewhere, they were talking about lo-fi hip hop. And I remember, I think it was on OK Player, someone called it gentrified boom bap. And I definitely was just like, yo, I think there's a part of you that like a part of me felt the way because I'm associated with this sound, right? But then another part of me was like, nah, that's an accurate description of it to a certain extent, because, you know, there's a lot of times doing this stuff, and yo, just bear with me. You would stay on this tangent with me. There's a lot of times doing this, right? Doing this music where people will look you in your face and tell you what you're doing is not the right thing, or you're not doing it right. They will close doors. They will keep you away from, you won't get certain opportunities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then all of a sudden, there's a shift. And the thing that wasn't cool before, right, all of a sudden becomes like the thing. And it becomes acceptable. And then certain people are just like, yo, this is the new wave. This is what we're doing. What I find interesting is, like, you know, I don't know who gets to decide, right? Who decided that that wasn't good before, and then who woke up one day and decided that it was all of a sudden, right? Obviously, it's people, it's different types of people and stuff. But when people talk about this whole thing and call lo-fi like gentrified boom bap, I think when you look at what's happened, right? You look at the fact that, yo, like somebody like me who's coming from poverty, I remember working with Nujabes and being really confused why his stuff sounded the way it did, right? Why it sounded like like he was using lower quality stuff. Because when I went to see his setup and I see this computer that I know, because I'm in art school, I know that this computer's several $1,000s. And I know based on the sound card he's using and how much that costs, I also know that, yeah, it doesn't sound like that when it's going in. And if you don't run it through a ton of filters and try to dirty it up, or you're not sampling actual records and stuff like that, it don't sound that way coming out. So part of it is it's being manipulated to sound like he's using stuff that is like maybe lower quality than it is. Or in certain cases, he is sampling records that are really old and have that sound to it. Which I know is a thing like with Marcus D. Like he's specifically sampling from vinyl, right? So it has that. But it's weird to me. It's really, really weird. And it was always weird to me, like when I see people trying to make it sound that way. And I'm guilty of it too, because I realized when I started making stuff on computers or whatever, like it didn't have that same warmness or whatever. And so I think one point in time in my career, I was trying to get away from that sound, because it was literally, doors were being closed, opportunities were being taken away because I couldn't afford to make my stuff sound nicer. And then all of a sudden it became the wave, it became the thing. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll go back to making my music sound the way it was sounding before, but find different ways to push it creatively. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's just kind of weird like that, like how the universe works and all of that. But I know, man, like when people hear that bar, they probably don't read too deep into it. but there's a reason why I said that, you know what I mean? And that was it, you know. Came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo, 15 minutes strong, though the songs were hella simple. Back then, demos a lot of times would be like 3 to 5 songs. So it's like, you know, if you got 5 songs or maybe 4 songs and they're like 3.5 minutes long, your demo is going to end around that 15-minute mark, right? You're not trying to keep people there too long because it's a demo. It's not an album. Demo short for demonstration, right? So let's keep it pushing. Last part of that where it's like finished at 16, then crash like a cymbal. Fairly easy to catch the crash cymbal drum set, blah blah blah. And the 16 refers to the actual length of a normal verse or typical verse.
Then I crash like a cymbal, sound at 17 again. I'm gonna body that instrumental like before. Packed house, it was 18 and over. Still would have killed if only 19 showed up.
Yeah. So Pete. So when it's like a sound is 17 again, I'm gonna body that instrumental. What that refers to is basically still sounding hungry, right? Still sounding young. One of the best compliments I got recently was I played something for Javier Starks in this very room. We were chilling, working on something for his upcoming EP, which is going to be fire, by the way, produced by Marcus D. We were working on that, and man, while we were working on it, we had some time to just chill. And so I played him some new stuff I had done. So I played him a new track that I did with J Soul. Shout out to J Soul, man, who's doing a bit better. He had a health scare, but shout out to J Soul. But when I played the joint for Javier, when it was done, I was like, bro, you still sound hungry. Like, he's like, bro, like you blacked out on that verse. But like, what's crazy is like, bro, you still sound hungry, and that's dope. And man, that compliment, bro, it got me so excited. Made me want to stop what I was doing and write right there. So like, you know, so that line in Count on Us where I say sound is 17 again, I'm gonna body that instrumental. That's what I'm talking about. Like young me, I think most young artists, it's just like, yo, chip on your shoulder. You're constantly trying to prove yourself to your peers, to anybody. Like, man, listen, I would meet people. They would say they had a friend who rhymed too. And I'm like, yo, that's cool. That's cool. And then they hear me rhyme, be like, oh yeah, my friend definitely better than you. You know, people weird like that. So they would say that. And I was the type of dude back then, like, yo, where you at? Like if we at school and you say that, I'm like, hey, find him. We can find out right now. Word, he better? Let's find out right now. You know what I mean? Or if I was in public, I remember it was in a mall and someone said that about one of their friends or whatever. I'm like, yo, where he at? He here? He ain't here. Okay, cool. Where is he going to be? Right? And then if it was a local party or something he was going to be at, man, I've rolled up. Like where I'm from, it wasn't so much about gangs. It was about neighborhoods. So if you were from a different neighborhood and you were in the wrong neighborhood, that could be a problem. Right? But man, I would show up to parties in neighborhoods like I really wasn't supposed to be in. And I'm showing up at these joints like it's like me and one other dude. And we in neighborhoods where they like the whole party's them. So it's 100 people in some of these joints, 50 people, smaller ones. And it's like, I don't care. It's like, I'm here to rap. I ain't here to fight. I fight with these words. So I would go in and man, and it was just like young me. I was so hungry to just prove that I was great at this. And I was working toward being greater. Yeah, man. So that whole sound in 17 again, I'm gonna body that instrumental. That's I carry that mindset now, even now. Like even when I'm writing more serious subject matter and being reflective. Like, you know, shout out to my man Micah Blacklight. He would say to me, man, like, he would hear the battle raps I would write, and he would say, yo, I don't know who you're talking about, but I need you to stop writing battle raps talking to whack MCs. He was like, write battle raps like you talking to the best MCs. That was one thing he told me. Great piece of advice, right? Then the second thing he told me, which really made me write with a different, write at a different level, was he was like, yo, that same creativity that you take the concept tracks that you take to battle. Nah, he said not the same creativity you use when you writing your battle tracks. That same hunger, that same aggressiveness, that same cleverness, wit, all of that. I need all of that when you write your reflective tracks too. When you talk about serious subject matter, he was like, yo, keep that same level of intensity or creativity when you are writing about serious subject matter or other subject matter outside of battling. And yo, to this day, hands down, the best piece of advice I've been given in terms of my writing. He's an amazing poet outside of being an amazing visual artist. And yo, I don't think that a lot of the songs that resonate with y'all, I don't think those songs would have been what they became if it wasn't for what he told me. You know what I mean? So shout out to Micah Blacklight. Let's keep it going. Oh yeah. The bars after that. It says night before packed house, it was 18 and over, right? So now we're up to number 18, packed house, 18 and over. You know what it is. You've gone to a clubs that are 18 and over. But you also know, you know what I mean? Like, just 18 will let you get in, but that mean you can't drink, right? But then the bar after that, where it says, still would have killed if only 19 showed up. Now, it sounds like I'm saying still would have killed if only 19 showed up, like if only 19 people showed up, right? That's what it sounds like. And I did this on purpose. But really what it's saying, still would have killed if only 9 teens showed up. This is really what's being said, right? So it's, you know, the double entendre of it all. Still would have killed if only 19 people showed up. And I also would have killed if only 9 teens showed up. If only 9 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds showed up, they were going to witness a massacre on stage either way. I was going to kill it either way. You know what I mean? 3 people show up, you're getting the same show that 3,000 people going to get. I'm going to give them all, I'm going to go in, is basically what I'm saying. Let's take a minute to acknowledge the comment. Okay. Still would have killed if only 19 showed up. It's special to me because you guys did a very small show in my hometown, and I think there were literally like 20 people there, and you guys killed it. Hey, King Be Cruel, thank you. I appreciate the love. Man, I've said it before, I say it again. One of the things about being a professional or being a professional is understanding that regardless that if you're unhappy with the circumstances and this, that, and the third, you know, I'm happy anytime anyone shows up to see us. Sure, it can be a little deflating when you've been traveling for a very long time. Like, man, one time we did a close to sold out show in San Francisco, and then we drove 8 hours to somewhere in Oregon. And then when we got there, 3 people showed up. 3 people showed up, right? 3 people. And yeah, we ended up cutting our set, and that was extremely deflating. But, you know, even though we did a shorter set, yo, we still went in, man. And there was another time we did something in Texas. It was at a larger event and stuff, and they moved us upstairs. But the vast majority, the larger event they moved us to, most of those people were not there to see us. If we stayed in the place they had us, literally like 10 people would have saw us rock, probably less than that. So those folks, they moved our show upstairs to where the rave was happening, and they interrupted the rave to let us rock for 1,000 people. But it's important to point out, of those 1,000 people, less than 10 of them that were there to see us, right? But you know, they paid us a significant amount of money to be there, so they wanted to get the biggest bang for their buck as well. So they put us up on the biggest stage. And then after it was done, because we had to cut our show like in half. We were supposed to do an hour. We ended up doing 30. But the dopest part was, man, we were so happy for the folks who came through that when it was done, man, we just hung in the hotel lobby with those fans. Me, Marcus, hung out with like 5 fans that stuck around to kick it because most of them drove from far away because we weren't in their actual city. So like 2 of them, I think, were from nearby, like 30 minutes away. But like 3 of them, one that drove from another state. This was in Texas, by the way. And you know how big Texas is. 1 drove from Louisiana, 2 drove from somewhere else, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yo, we made time, man. Like, you know, we're going to give you that. We're going to give you a great show to the best of our ability, you know what I mean? And try our best to show out for you every time. Reminds me of the bar in Universe Works. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. All right, let's keep it pushing. Got it.
We focus. In 2021, we may have more for you, but still be underrated. They say that's a catch-22.
Yeah, so, you know, that this one is pretty much straightforward. We focused in 2021. Like the fact that it was 2020, the fact that it wasn't there yet, but I'm talking about like in 2021 we'll have more for you. Now this was written in like 2013, 2014, but like based on the bar and stuff, like we're at the number 20, and I'm like, oh, we'll just talk about the year 2021. And funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, what was it? In end of 2020 is when we dropped Winter Breaks, right? So it was kind of like, yo, we hit some folks with like something new. I think the year before would have been crazy if we should have waited to 2021 to drop it, because they had just made that bar even crazier. But was really wild is like, even though we hadn't released anything in 2021, like a lot of the work that we started doing in terms of groundwork for this next album and stuff, picking the instrumentals, meetings we started happening, was literally around then. So the release of Winter Breaks 2 came out 2020, but by 2021, we literally were planning more for you, right? We started working on our next album and stuff, gathering the beats and stuff, and really thinking about like where we wanted to go next. The crazier part of that, which doesn't connect to these bars at all, but the title for our next album, we literally had it since we started working together. Like I think from the first song that me and Marcus did in 2007, the title of this new album is based on something I said in one of the old songs we did. I think in the first song we ever did. But in 2021 we might have more for we may have more for you, but still be underrated. They say that's a catch-22, so using the catch-22 reference or whatever, looking at the positive and negative and things and stuff like that. We'll still have more for you, but like unfortunately by then, based on this industry, we'll probably still be underrated. They say that's a catch-22. Keep it pushing.
Wanna be rated the greatest like number 23, but
Want to be rated the greatest like number 23, the greatest of all time in basketball. Listen, it's Michael Jordan to me. But the dope thing is about just saying the number instead of saying the person's name. Most of the two people that people argue over who are considered the greatest of all time is Michael Jordan, and then the other one who currently wears number 23 right now, who usually is in the GOAT conversation, LeBron James. Just see how that works. See how these bars the bars just doing work. Keep it going.
Since I think it's too forward, that's something we might never see.
24 is the part that is a number that a lot of people miss when they're listening to this. But and then even the way I say it, but since my thinking's too forward, right? 24. Since my thinking's too forward, that's something we might never see. So even the choice of words is too fun. Like, since my thinking's too forward, that's something we might never see. Instead of saying 24, me saying too forward is making it harder for people to catch the line. My thinking's too forward. That's something we might never see. Certain people don't catch 24 because I say too forward instead of 24. Something we may never see. All little things, man. I love writing, yo. Like, writing's the best. Anyway, let's see. Go to the comment real quick. Not gonna lie, it took me a while to catch that 2-4 bar. I swore you skipped that number. See? You know what I'm saying? Just be having fun in these streets, man. Thank y'all. Let's keep it going.
25 minutes before I board for my trip. Hit my driver with a 20 plus a $6 tip.
Yeah, man. 25 minutes before I board for my trip. Hit my driver with a 20 plus a $6 tip, 25, 26. You know what I mean? Nothing overly complicated about those particular parts, just keeping the story moving, so on and so forth. But it's basically moving away from. So what basically happened, again, we're going through the day. I start off talking, just kind of, it's almost like what's dope is in the beginning where I talk about the I'm the one they sleep on. I roll with dreamers. If we were to do this video again, in this video, I love the concept and how it worked out, because we're still showing parts of our day. But one of the coolest ways we thought to show numbers was by us playing cards together and stuff like that, right? But yeah, another way this video could have started was literally with me just waking up. No surprise, I'm one to sleep on, right? It could have been an easy way to do it. But like, so it starts with me kind of waking up, talking about dreaming, different things like that. Talking about who we are, our introduction. Then it moves to us traveling through, getting ready to travel, head to the next city, so on and so forth. And then from there, it goes into reflection. Think about like me riding in the car or something like that as I reflect, right? And then it moves away from the reflection or whatever, me being in my head, to realizing it's like, oh snap, 25 minutes before I board for my trip, right? Like we got to get moving. Hit my driver with a 20 plus a $6 tip. In reality, fam, if you that close, like you just getting into the airport and your plane's supposed to start boarding in 25 minutes. Now, granted, boarding can take a certain amount of time, but you were cutting it super close, super close. So that's why I recommend TSA pre-check. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing the global thing, do your global entry. Highly recommend it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't there yet, don't worry. Make sure you're working toward it though. But for those of you who travel a lot, if you don't have that already, man, it makes moments like what I'm rapping about right now a lot easier. Just saying. Keep it moving. Back to the joint. Back to these bars.
Thinking that I was 27 when I heard Marcus shit. 28 when we began to plan the very start of it.
Yo, so crazy. Let's say thinking that I was 27 when I heard Marcus shit, right? 28 when we began to plan the very start of it. When Marcus D reached out to me, it was like I think it was like January or February of what was that? Man, hold on. Yeah, it was January of '07. So yeah, so I was 28 years old when Marcus D no, I'm lying. Marcus D had reached out to me before that. I think right before I moved, I first got a message from him, but then we started making plans on it by the time I was 28. And it was crazy because I remember I always joke and say it's a love affair that started on MySpace. Because when he first reached out to me, it was through MySpace. But when I was 28, after doing some stuff with him, after recording what's the song? Oh my God, what is our first joint called? Oh my God, it's on Marcus D's first album. Somebody in the chat, let me put the name in there. But yeah, our first song, we did that. And then there was something else that I did on his first album as well. Enjoy Yourself. That's what the song was called. When we did the song Enjoy Yourself, and then another joint that we did after that, I had a feeling early on. I was like, yo, his drums are very much like what people dig over here, like in the scene that I'm in. But his sampling, the choices that he makes for what he decides to sample is very much like that of what the folks in Japan or the people who like that particular sound, what they typically dig. So I was like, yo, if we do more songs together, this could be special, man. And could potentially be bigger than some of this other stuff I'm doing. So like sonically and artistically, I think it's a great choice because I'm digging it and I love it. And I'm having fun working with this kid. But then I met with my manager at the time, or my agent, who was doing the bookings for me in Japan. And I said to him, I was like, yo, if me and this kid actually did more collaborations together, maybe even form a group, I think, yo, it could really do something. He heard his stuff and was just like, yo, let's figure it out. And shortly after that, I came up with the name Bop Alloy. I came up with a bunch of different names, and I ran that by Marcus. I ran that by the guy who was representing us. And initially, because the guy who was representing us, Sune, he's Japanese. He thought the name would be hard for Japanese folks to say. And so we almost didn't go with that name. But then I pushed back and was just like, yo, that is one country in this very vast world, fam. And what I've learned over time is that if people love you enough, they figure it out. I got a good feeling about this name and what it means and what it represents. I think we should stick with it. Marcus agreed. Rest is history. You know what I mean? Bop Alloy. Yes, in the album that those songs were on, Revival of the Fittest. Yep. Man, I be rapping. I be out here. I be out here. All right, so let's keep it going.
Skin chick tap me saying, I don't know what's on your mind. You're holding up the line. By the way, your gate is 29. Pretty little 30-something sister from the motherland. Thank them for the info. Past the checkpoint with my stuff in hand.
Hey man, so it's like dark skin chick tap me, saying, I don't know what's on your mind. You holding up the line. By the way, your gate is 29, right? Finding a way to inject like real world interactions in it, right? But then following it up with another bar, right? Where it's like a pretty little 30-something sister from the motherland. Obviously, I could have said pretty little 30-something sister, but like there's certain parts where depending on where your family's from, where they pronounce pretty like purdy. You know what I mean? They don't say the pr is per, right? It sounds more like purr, and it's purdy. You know what I mean? Purdy little 30-something. So I thought that'd be cool to flip that, but then it's just like it's crazy because that saying it like that. I mean, I mainly know like certain black folks from certain parts of the South who say it. I'm not 100% still sure if people on the other side of town pronounce it like that. Probably do. But my intent when I did it, I thought it would be dope to, number one, celebrate someone's beauty, right? Like, because like typically in hip hop in particular, and in Hollywood, like they don't always highlight beautiful dark-skinned people. So like dark skin chick tapped me saying, I don't know what's on your mind. Even the way I say it, right? Sometimes like, you know, women in general, but then dark skinned women in particular, like black women are sometimes viewed as like having a bad attitude. So when I say it initially, I intentionally say it with a little tool to it, right? Where it's like dark skin chick tap me saying, I don't know what's on your mind. You holding up the line. By the way, your gate is 29. But for me, it's not so much about like, so it's playing on stereotypes. But for me, like I talked to some of my homies about it. Like, hey man, like black women and what they've meant to my life, you know what I mean? Like, and what they've done for me, and like in this moment in the joint, somebody might look at it as, oh, she's giving you attitude. No, fam. She's bringing me back to reality. Make sure I don't miss my damn flight, right? And so in these moments, it's like I'm not like some people where it's like reacting like, why you talking to me like that? Like in that moment, it's like, yo, I just come to, and then instead of giving her attitude or giving her a little whatever back, like I noticed that, like, yo, she's beautiful. You know what I mean? And so I dropped that in the joint too. Pretty little 30-something sister from the motherland, right? You know, and so yeah, man, just finding different ways, and so like finding different ways to kind of like say deeper things without saying a whole lot, or point out like make plays on stereotypes and other cultural things without saying too much. But I think those culturally specific things can you know, it kind of draws people, it brings people into the story even more if you notice them. But even the whole play on the fact that like, yo, like I give her like the Southern accent, but then the flip side of that is I'd say she's from the motherland, right? And now, so there's different ways to look at that. Like somebody like you see someone who's black, and obviously that if you're in America, that means they're African American. But like if I put the little Southern twang on it, it might throw you off. Like, oh wait, she country, but she sounds Southern or whatever. But then she's from the motherland. I'm like, yeah, because I've gone down south, or I've gone to other places, and I've seen people who, when I look at their name tag, they're clearly from a certain part of the motherland, right? But when I hear them talk, they don't speak with the accent of where they're actually from, because they've been in the States for their whole life, but they're second generation, so they still have names that are similar to what they would have back home, even though they sound like here. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Bol Bol. Look up this footage of Bol Bol, like he's talking trash to one of the referees. His father's Manute Bol, he's Bol Bol. He clearly does not have like the traditional, or whatever that even is supposed to mean, a traditional African American name. But hey, bro, he sound like a lot of Bamas I knew growing up when he talked. He was like he basically was playing against oh my God, Wembanyama, and the refs was like, basically was favoring Wembanyama, and then he was like, I get it, y'all on his dick. That's what he says to the ref. And I remember when that clip went viral, people were thrown off because when you see him, he's clearly like you know, he looks like a lot of people from the part of Africa his family's from. Then you see his name, but then because he's raised here, when he talk, so anyway, yeah, just I know, man, I be going way too deep into some of these things, but those little things I think, just kind of give it a little more. I'm reading your comments. That was the hesitation. So, I get it. You said 31st, and then said brought you back to 29. It's the 30 plus numbers to help complete the song was very well done. Thank you. I get it. I know I'm over explaining. I'm sorry. Bo's crazy. Yeah, he's wild. Word. All right. So now, Pete. All right. Got it. Here we go.
Cop gum snacks in a book for something to do. Cashier said my total's 31, 32. Phone at 33%, my battery is lame. Charge it, then call my family before I boarded the plane.
Again, another day in the life of, right? Cop, cop gum, snacks, a book for something to do. I don't know how many different times I've done that at the airport. I don't know if any of y'all are like me, but sometimes some of us, like, we have a tendency to see certain numbers a lot. And then if it's not that, like, moments where, like, the numbers are in order, in sequential order, when I see that type of stuff, I always think that's so cool, right? It's like the little kid in me, like, oh, look, the numbers. Oh, my total was 1011. Oh, it was 3132. Like, I have, like, it's the kid in me. I don't know what it is. I know it might seem strange to other adults in the joint, but when I see that, I think it's cool because it doesn't happen all the time. But the 3132, phone at 33%. My battery is lame. Keep in mind, this is still early in the day, right? Like, we ain't even hit noon yet, I think, based on the stuff I was setting up before. So, like, the fact that my day just started and I'm already at 33%, right, is crazy. But it's like charge it and call my family before I boarded the plane. Like, these are my routines to this day, right? Like, hopping on a call or texting with my wife before I typically it's texting with my wife and then hopping on like a quick video call or a quick call before the plane takes off and before they tell us to shut off our devices. But yeah, man, let's keep it going.
34 years young, making music with my friends, documented through a 35mm lens. Day and a half before, that's when we hit the road. Only 37 copies of our album in tow.
Hey, yo, man, listen. When I listen to that section, I'm like, hey, man, I was showing off. Your boy was showing off. Just a little something. Just a little something. I was having a lot of fun writing this joint, man. So 34 years young at the time I wrote this joint. 34 years young, making music with my friends, right? My friends and Steph and Marcus D. And then at this time, I'm still still working with or cool with some of the people from like when I was in New York, and then I think I'm living back in the DMV, so I'm reconnecting with old friends then. So it's like there was so many different friends I was referring to at that time, but making music with my friends, documented through a 35mm lens. You know what I mean? I always not only would keep my camera phone with me, but there's plenty of times where I brought my actual camera with us on tour. And then it says, and then one of my favorite ones, I mentioned the 2 Forward joint, but number 36, the number that wasn't said, but is clearly there. When I say day and a half before, that's when we hit the road. Yo, people have come to me, no matter where I've gone in the world. There's always somebody who's come up to me, who's a Bop Alloy fan, who tries to tell me what number I forgot. And I looked them in their eyes and I'm like, no, ma'am. No, sir. Not a drop. I didn't miss anything. I didn't forget a number, right? And so, yeah, man, the whole, day and a half, right? The 24 hours in a day. I say day and a half before, right? So 36 hours before, you know what I mean? But like, rather than just saying 36 hours, making it so obvious, like most people don't say, 36 hours ago. They'd be like, yo, like a day and a half ago. That's how we would say it in conversation. So I thought it would be clever to say that as opposed to saying 36 hours. And again, I love the fact that people think I didn't do it or didn't say it. And so when I tell them that, they're like, yeah, man, makes my makes my whole heart happy, fam. Like I love writing, bro. Like I love this, man. If you can't tell, like, I really love doing this. You know what I mean? So anyway, and then I was like a day and a half before, that's when we hit the road. Only 37 copies of our album in tow, and that might sound like a lot of joints, but when you got a tour that's starting and you realize you only got a limited amount of joints, if you're on the road for like a month, that means like, if you're on the road for a month and let's say you got 20 shows and you sell 2 CDs a day, them joints gonna be sold out before you even get to the last show. So, so that's why I'm pointing that out. And then I make this reference where it's like one show, they all go because they're a hot commodity. There have been times where before we leave to go on tour, like I'll start getting the merch together or Marcus start getting the merch together. And there's certain merch that does not make it past the first show. And I'm not talking about things that we only got 4 copies of. There's been times where I showed up with like 15 copies of something, thinking I'm like, this will get us through the first few days. But then the show will be packed out like, 200 people or more or whatever. And then some of those shows, there's been smaller shows we've done with like 100 people where we sold like thousands of dollars in merch with just that small amount of people. So, the significance of pointing that particular thing out, not something that the average listener would kind of a detail most listeners would care about other than how it works in the overall theme of the writing. But for artists who go on tour and stuff, when you have a low number of merch, like it's like, yeah, we will see how this play out,
One show, they all go, cause they're a hot commodity. Imports plus shipping be like 38 a copy.
Hey, if you've ever ordered an import CD or vinyl, them prices are crazy. First time I've ever gotten ready to order like an imported CD. And I was like, hey man, I'm about to pay $40 for a CD. That's insane. Shout out to any of you who've done that or something similar for us, man. I know it's wild, but when you understand the amount of money it costs to manufacture it, then the fact that we're dealing with a company that's based overseas, so they charge us just to give us physical copies. If we're dealing with a company that's manufacturing our album mainly for Japan, if we want copies of it here in the United States, we got to pay to get those boxes sent to us. And sometimes for a box of CDs, just a box of CDs could easily run $100 some to $200 just to get them to us, right? Like on top of the fact that it was the initial fee to get it manufactured and the initial fee to get it shipped where it had to go to the company. Then they got to pay another fee to ship it to us. And then we got to pay additional shipping when we send it to you. But on top of that, because we're in such a deep hole when we're dealing with imports, like, we got to charge more for those CDs. And sometimes, too, overseas, Japan in particular, they have a higher standard for how they manufacture their CDs. So when we did Another Day in the Life of, y'all might notice that those packs were really thin, thinner than the average CD, because I had found out that they were doing something where it was all recycled material and they were using less material to make the thing, but still high quality, but it felt a bit thinner. So it felt cheaper, but it was more sustainable. It was better for the planet and stuff, right? So like even the plastic and stuff that they were using was thinner too. So yeah, man. So we were doing that, but when we were working with the company in Japan, shout out to Takumi and the crew, over at ROF. When we were working with them, when I sent him a sample of that, he was like, oh no, this will not do. This will not meet our standards. So rather than just sending them a bunch of copies we already manufactured, we had to run, and this is all for Another Day in the Life. We had to literally get more copies manufactured strictly for Japan. And then in Japan, they had the little obi sleeve joint. So yeah, man, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's crazy. Shout out to me being a villain in the music video.
Finally boarded by a guy who's 39 or 40. By the time we hit the sky, I closed my eyes and started zoning.
Yeah, man. That joint finally boarded by a guy who's 39 or 40. it's like when you hit a certain age and stuff, when you get on planes and you see the people you're sitting with, a lot of times maybe you're engaging in some small talk and stuff. So you start kind of sizing them up, trying to figure out how old they are and stuff based on certain things they say and stuff like that. And it's crazy too, man, because I've sat by people where, because I'm a hip hop dude, I think they see me as younger than I am a lot of times, especially people who are in my age bracket but are more in the corporate space. Then it's like, then I just, and obviously when I had a little bit less gray hair, I'm always assumed to be younger than I actually am because of how, not always how I dress, but just like, even sometimes, like, depending on what we're talking about, if we talk about music, like the level of excitement, you talk about anime or like video games or anything that I'm like super into. If we start the conversation off there and you're not super into those things or whatever, but you maybe notice something I have, the assumption's kind of there. And then like, I say to Sherm a lot of times, we'll get around some of our peers who we know are the same age as us because we went to school together. And like, but because of the corporate space that they're in, they oftentimes look a lot older than us, which is, it's wild. So it's just something I thought about when writing that particular part and just reflecting on it now. But then last bar where it's like, by the time we're in the sky, I closed my eyes and started zoning. I am a dude that when I hit a plane, the moment I get on a plane or whatever, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I won't be asleep the whole time. But depending on how long that flight is, I'm getting at least 1 to 3 naps in, fam. I'll try to get some work done. But yeah. So anyway, that was the breakdown, man. I hope, I really, really hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank y'all, man. Yeah. Anyway, that was the breakdown for, Count on Us by Bob Alloy, Substantial and Marcus D on the beat, from our album Another Day in the Life Of. Definitely one of my favorite joints that I wrote on that album. Arguably one of my favorite joints that I ever wrote for anything. I always have fun delivering it, like whether it's an audience that knows the song or a group of people who've never heard it. It's just always a fun joint to share. But yeah, man, thank y'all so much. Let's go to these comments real quick and then we'll go ahead and close out Anatomy of a Verse. All right. Just realized that with the forward thinking of these verses back at the 23 part, Kobe wore 24. So still a goated reference. Woo! Hey man, I love talking to people about these type of things because literally this conversation had happened 2 days ago. But I was talking how sometimes fans find references or things that can be tied to what was said that wasn't necessarily our full intent or our intention at all, but sometimes are cooler than some of the things we came up with. So shout out to you because that's fire. I didn't even think about that. That's dope. This track is just amazing in retrospect. The clever wordplay, double entendres with the beat make it 10 out of 10. Yo, man, shout out to Marcus D. Literally, if he doesn't send me that beat, you don't get those bars. But I heard that beat and knew, I was like, oh, this is worthy of some of my best. Let me get to cooking. Yeah, I mean, I love that beat. It's one of my favorite beats on that album. You are officially the Riddler of hip hop. Yo, thank you. Coming to Texas anytime soon again. Texas is not on the is not my travel plans right now, but we will see. All right. So look, at this time, we're about to start this poll. Let me go ahead and switch the view real fast. Man, thank y'all so much. I'm glad y'all enjoyed Anatomy of a Verse. We'll get ready to start this official poll so we can vote on what is going to be the next lyric breakdown. I hope y'all like that one though. But yeah, let's set up this poll now. So we got a couple of suggestions. Let's put them up here. So one, wait a minute. Come on, Cletus. There you go. All right. Got it. So one suggestion, I know we saw Clutch. Cool it now. Hold up. Sorry, 1 second. Just making sure this video load up, or the comment section load up properly. All right. So we are starting to poll now. So one of the joints. So yeah. So basically what's happening right now, I need everybody to send in your suggestions for songs that I should break down, or songs that you would like me to break down in the next edition of Anatomy of a Verse. All right. So one was Crutch, Cool It Now. I saw that come up again because that was from last week. And then, hold on. Next song to break down. Okay, we got Crutch, Cool It Now. Somebody said Home Sweet Home. And then my man Josh said the 4/4s. That's a good one. Man, I might have to dig up, see if I can get the homie Greenspan to come on the show. That'd be dope. All right, so we got the 4/4s. Any other joints? If you don't have it yet, home if you don't have it yet. I don't get half the stuff you're saying in that track. Yo, it's funny. It's not as super lyrical as the one I just did, but a lot of the stuff in there is very specific to the area I grew up in. So that's why you probably don't get the references. Heart. Yep. Okay. I think that's all we can do. Let me see though. I'm gonna go back because I know there were some suggestions made early on. So I do want to keep the people who maybe dropped one earlier in mind, before we keep it pushing completely. Oh my God, I'm seeing all the pause jokes from earlier. You guys got to grow up. You got children. You got to grow up. I'm just messing with y'all. I think we captured what it was. All right, so look, the 4 suggestions I have from y'all are Crutch, Cool It Now, Home Sweet Home, the 4/4s, and Heart. That's what we got. All right, so starting the poll right now. And you guys will have the next 5 to 10 minutes to vote before I get out of here. And in the meantime, in between time, while y'all are doing that, let's we can close out with some Q&A. So any questions that you have, feel free to drop them in there. And yeah, man, let's see how this poll's doing. So right now we got Crutch and Home Sweet Homes. We got 3-way tie between Crutch, Home Sweet Home, and Heart right now. Crutch just took the lead. Do me a favor. In the chat, let me know if you've never heard the song Crutch, Cool It Now before. Or if you've never heard the song The 4/4s. Hey, Josh, you trying to start a fight? Hold up. This is a great question. Because if you're a Stevie Wonder fan, you know. So, is As Stevie Wonder's best song? Jesus. It's subjective, right? Like, I love that song. I think it's an amazing song. But it's not my favorite song from Stevie Wonder. But part of what makes it such a great song is the subject matter, the arrangement, right? Like just the music, like how it shifts from one, like how it starts and then where it goes. And then his vocal performance, oh my God. Like, yo, it's definitely top shelf Stevie. You know what I mean? I think it's one of his greatest songs. It's not my personal favorite though. But Josh, I'm assuming that's your favorite Stevie Wonder song though. Listening to it now. All right. Yeah, hey man, listen. Any of y'all in here who have not listened to my album Adultish, I know some of y'all that come through are definitely, yeah, I'm not questioning whether or not you're a fan of me. I just know that a lot of y'all were introduced via a lot of my older stuff. And I think a lot of the fans who were introduced via my older stuff, I'm also a very active artist. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything I do. However, Adultish is my new album. It's the first album of mine that I produced from top to bottom in terms of me rapping all the way through. And literally, man, it got some great features on there. Like Uyama Hiroto's featured on the album. Shingo 2 and I like got our first collab ever. My man Javier Starks is on it. Tone Deaf mixed and mastered it. Makes an appearance on one of the interludes. It also features Megaran. Features T. Lucas. Yo, it's hands down, in my personal opinion, like my best record. Obviously I'm biased, you know what I mean? But I feel like for those of you who enjoyed that breakdown I just did and the type of wordplay and stuff like that, there's a lot of those moments on there. You can listen to it and just kind of enjoy it and catch some of the more surface lines, but there's so much wordplay on the record. And then the production, I produced it myself, but more importantly, I had my man Tone. He mixed it, and yo, Tone's just, man, he's a master on the board, yo. So it's definitely one of my best. So hey, right now the poll has not ended, but we have a two-way tie between Crutch and Heart. So we got a tie. We've only had 7 people vote, and we got like 9, I think, people watching. So yeah, man, if you haven't voted yet, make sure you do. Okay. Let's see. More comments. If the stars align, will there be a Mega Stan collab album? Hey man, Mega Ran knows I want to do it. He's a real busy dude and I'm a busy guy, so I don't know how or when it's gonna happen, but I'm down to do it. I got the vibe from him that he's open to it at some point in time. It's just it just comes down to us being able to make our schedules work to make it happen, you know? I say so, but that's just me. Yeah, man, listen, I ain't mad. If someone else comes up and tells me As is the greatest Stevie Wonder song ever made, I'm probably not going to argue with them because I can definitely see why they feel that way. I love that record. All right, we're at 8 votes right now, and Heart has officially taken the lead. So we got 8 votes. Heart has the lead right now. Back to the chat. I don't think I've ever heard Woo, Lord. Man, you need to go listen to The Past is Always Present in the Future. Again, anybody in the chat who's never heard that album from me, well, I'll be talking about a different album, but if you never heard that album from me, definitely check that out. There's a song on there called 4/4s with Greenspan. And that song was produced by Odyssey, and shout out to Precious Joubert who does vocals in the background. But yeah, man, definitely check it out. Shout out to my boy Greenspan, man. Love that dude. 4/4s is great. Track on the Past and Present. Yep, there we go. Wow, I must have overlooked it. Oddly enough, Made in Maryland is my favorite from the album. Not mad at that. Also, Odyssey produced that one too. Those are the 2 tracks that Odyssey did on that album. Speaking of people who produce stuff on that album, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shout out to Marcus D. You know what I mean? My brother from another mother. Marcus, we got to hop on a call, man. I know it's super late where you are right now. So if you don't want to do it today, we can do it tomorrow. But let's definitely talk because we got a lot of stuff to finish planning for the next release and also for the trip. You do a variety of songs in different tempos. Do you enjoy faster or slower songs more? I don't think I have a preference in tempo, right? Like, my preference is I like beats that have, I like beats where the drums have a certain swing to them, like a certain feel, and the drums have a nice pocket. I don't really love tracks that have really stiff drums. And the reason for that is, like, if you've ever seen rap written on paper, like in the form of sheet music, when you see it written in that way, it looks kind of similar to how drums are written out, or at least the times that I've seen it. It looks like the way they write out drum patterns, right? And so for me, how like the swing of the drums more so than the tempo of the drums is what I kind of look for. And then I also like different time signatures. Marcus D is here, so he knows I love a good 3/4 or 7 or like 6/8 time signature. But yeah, Hey, we got 12 people watching right now, but only 8 of you have voted. Right? So the poll right now is still going. Right now, Heart is in the lead for the next lyric breakdown with 50% of the vote. Crutch, Cool It Now is at 38%. Home Sweet Home is at 12%. The 4-4s, 0%. All right, so we got a few more minutes before I end it. I'm going to end at 2 on the dot. So in 4 minutes, we're going to wrap it up. But yeah, if you haven't voted already, remember, it's 12 of you watching. So just go to the comment section. I mean, not the comment, but the chat. And make sure you go ahead and vote. All right. Yeah, man. Let's see. Past is always present in the future is a banger. Man, thank you, man. Thank you for your contribution, sir. Do you have any tips for producers? Yeah, man. I would say biggest tip for producers is like, don't get too caught up in what the equipment is, right? Like sometimes you'll pick like software that you prefer or equipment that you prefer to use, and then you'll run into other producers. Sometimes they're offering you tips to use certain things because the industry has basically deemed that as the better stuff to use. But there are other instances where, you know, people are just basically telling you to use what they're comfortable with, right? And then there are instances where it's like this thing has more abilities. Like if you like this thing is similar, but it can do more, right? But at the end of the day, I think what really comes down to is like, man, use what, you know, allows you to be able to work out your ideas, you feel like the best and most efficient way. So whatever it is you've discovered, doesn't mean that you shouldn't explore other options and stuff that come out and this, that, and the third. Be open to that. Be a lifetime learner, right? That's a major tip. Dedicate yourself to always being open to learning new things, new production techniques, new stuff that is introduced. Like it's okay to try it just to see if there is something better about it. But also be comfortable in that, like, yo, these are my weapons of choice. And I prefer them because when I work with these, I know my way around. I know how to do things with it that other people maybe can't. And yo, I'm gonna make music this way. So don't feel like you have to conform to do it the way that other people do it. Just do it the way that allows you to express yourself in the most honest way possible, and allows you to feel good when you do it. You know, that would be my major tip, man. And again, just going back to the other one, which is, yo, just growth. Always make room for growth. Always allow yourself to try to be better than you were yesterday and stuff. And in order to do that, you got to keep learning. You got to keep, you know, kind of like pay attention to what like folks, not just in your genre, are doing, but in other genres, things they're doing that you find interesting. Yeah, you know, I feel like that's a good launching point. You know, we are officially at 10 votes. We are at 10 votes, folks, and we got 1 minute left. All right. Right now, Heart is in the lead. Yes, sir. 3 a.m. here, so tomorrow might be better. Word. We'll talk tomorrow. Warpath might get his wish the way the poll. Warpath wanted Soar. He wanted Soar. Marcus, you already know, bro. Room to Hill. Yes, sir. Subway is something crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, he might be biased, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Let me pay for an extra vote like these dirty politicians. Oh, my God. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. The winner is Heart. So next week, we are breaking down Heart, produced by Kenichiro Nishihara. Those are your results. Crutch came close though today, man. I'm happy to see that one of my newer joints was in the top, you know, top 2 for voting. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all who pushing for it. There's still hope for it. We ain't giving up on Crutch. I feel like Crutch lyrically would be a way more interesting breakdown than I think. Like the way today was with Count on Us, Crutch is going to be interesting like that too. You know, like there's a lot that went into that track. But obviously we got to say that for another time. I'll definitely give a listen to 4/4s at the show's conclusion. My man, appreciate you. Man, Subway Time Signature 6-8. Yeah, it was an interesting joint too. I will give Crutch an extra listen. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So we're going to get ready to get out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, yo. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Let me bring this off the screen real quick. And one last time before we go, thank you to everybody who contributed today, who donated via the super chat. Man, shout out to Kevin, shout out to Joshua McGee, and who actually put up twice, and shout out to King Be Cruel, who donated to the channel today. Again, man, these contributions via super chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or whatever, it's never mandatory, but it's always appreciated. It allows me to purchase extra things around here to keep this show going smoothly and stuff. And yeah, man, and pay for StreamYard, right? Which is what I use the operating system I use to keep this flowing. So, man, thank y'all, man. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, going to probably listen to the revamped Third Strike rap later too. Yeah, man. I need to edit that joint too, because I did a breakdown of that one. So I need to edit that and then put that up on the channel too. But yeah, man, peace to everybody. I have an amazing weekend. Amazing weekend. I said I was going to do something earlier. I didn't say it to y'all, but I told my oldest daughter I might do it. So I'm going to see if I can set up some music real quick. This is like this little thing I've been playing around. This idea I've been playing around with. Hold up. Let me see something. We're going to find some music real fast. Let's see. Hold up. Man, like, cause sometimes you need like a way to close out your videos and stuff, like a little outro, you know what I'm saying? Other than just like the little spinning logo at the end. That's cool. But maybe for the people who stick around to the end, maybe we should do something a little more fun. So hold up. Let me find this joint real quick. And we're gonna act a fool. If I find it, it's a wrap. We're gonna act a fool. I'm just telling you right now. Yep, I got it. Okay, there it is. Boom. Nope. Go to the other version. Yep, there it is. All right. Hold on. Quick check. We're gonna get a quick sound check, see if it comes through. Yep, it came through. Okay, good. Goody. Okay. Let's see. Wait, you made music for Third Strike? So yo, I made music for Evo. And me and Infinite, the guy who was the announcer for Third Strike, we actually we took the song, I think it was NYC Jazzy. We took that and we revamped it for 2024. So yeah, man, look that up, NYC Jazzy. Put in Substantial and Infinite, NYC Jazzy 24. That's streaming on all platforms. It's also up on the official Evo joint. So it was the official intro for the battle this past year. So yeah, man, definitely check that out. If you love Third Strike, which who doesn't, worth checking out for sure. Lyrically, 4/4s or Cool It Now. Both of them are dope, but I would pick Cool It Now lyrically in terms of what I was doing on those joints. But yeah, all right. So let's see. Hold on. Here we go, y'all. I'm going to try something out. You know what I mean? This is not fully planned out. This is not written. I'm not doing a full song or nothing. We're just having fun right now. But just a fun way to close the joint out. We're going to end on this note. Here we go. Some tomfoolery for you. Yeah. You ready? And we're going to go like this. So how we going to end the show. And we're going to say, who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo. I told my daughter I was going to do it. We was freestyling house. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. You. And stop. Thank y'all for sticking around, man. Have an amazing weekend. I was bored, yo. We was having fun. Anyway, have an amazing weekend, man. I'll see you next time. I'll see you soon. Talk to you sooner. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Next week, we breaking down Heart by Kenichiro Nishihara. We're going to do a lyric breakdown of that. I don't know if I'm going to do all the verses. Maybe I'll do one verse. We'll see. But yeah. Hey, you like that, Soul Tiger? You like that? I might cut that up and make that the official outro every time we do the show. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Or just make that how we make that how we close out the joint. You know what I mean? You know, in case y'all missed it, we say play it again. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, run it back. You say, no one said that, but I said it. You know what I mean? Here we go. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Yo. And like, do whatever you like. Say subscribe, like, do whatever you like. That's right. Who made it to the end? Stop. You get out of here. It's time to go. Anyway, yo, have an amazing weekend. Shout out to Baltimore Club Music. Have an amazing weekend, man. I love y'all, man. I hope you had a great time today. Take care, y'all. I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon. Peace.